afternoon, good evening, good morning. Firstly, I just want to apologise to anybody that was waiting backstage on the scheduled live video. For some reason, not quite worked it out. I've scheduled a live, I've shared it onto my other social media platforms. However, on my YouTube channel, when I click on the scheduled live, there is no option for me to go live via that link. Don't know. I will figure it out in time. Every day is a school day after all. But it's a shame. But I do apologise to anybody that's maybe going to watch this later that was sitting waiting on that link. Wee cup of tea. What I've done today as well is I am doing this live stream from YouTube as opposed to StreamYard, just to see if it makes any difference. Hello Maria. I don't know if it will make any difference. There is only one way I'm going to really find out, so I'll do the live stream here. Good afternoon, Dawn. I'll do it here, and then tomorrow's live stream I'll probably create it from StreamYard and see if it has any difference on the traffic and the volume of views that I'm going to get on this page. I'm not expecting anything big at the moment. My account's still extremely small. I will give a shout out to Trevor Colt, who's encouraged me to come to YouTube, and he has sent a whole load of his Trevorites from his page over to subscribe to mine, which I'm massively grateful for. The talks that I do are not everyone's cup of tea. I understand that. A lot of the things I say cut close to the bone. What I'm going to talk about today is my own life experience. I titled this live video Cocktails. You know, and people read the word cocktails and they automatically assume that I'm talking about alcohol, right? Alcohol is going to be something that I'm going to talk about in this live video as well, but that's not the sort of cocktails that I'm talking about, folks. I'm talking about the cocktails, the drug cocktails that are extremely dangerous. So what triggered this live video was I was looking through my previous videos from last year on YouTube when I had my StreamYard up and running, and these videos were titled gabapentin, tramadol, cannabis, heroin, methadone, and I've done lots of videos specifically about these drugs individually. Hello Nikki, thank you for joining. I've done videos about these drugs individually, but I've never really done a video about what really happens when we take all those drugs at the same time. So that is the subject and the topic of today's discussion, and it's going to be less than half an hour. I'm keeping it less than half an hour, so I'll be on till no later than 2:30. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 791, right? And you can really help make a difference. Please consider subscribing. So I am fortunate to be alive. When I think back to my drug days, the amount of times I almost accidentally overdosed is unreal. I am extremely lucky. There is times I can remember taking heroin, swallowing methadone, swallowing some diazepam, having a big grass joint, and a couple of antidepressants for good measure. I remember being in these comatose states in my living room, not being able to move. And it really is fortunate that I woke up the following day. That is a cocktail and a half to consume all these drugs within an hour and just swallow them. As an addict, I was extremely greedy. I was always looking to take as many drugs as I could get my hands on. On many occasions, it just so happened that I had methadone, heroin, cannabis, antidepressants, codeines, tramadols, gabapentins lying around in the house, and I would not think twice about taking them. It is extremely dangerous to do that. You know, and lots of those drugs that I've just mentioned, I fully appreciate that some of those drugs are illegal. Heroin, of course, cannabis, of course, you know. But you also have to be extremely careful of the prescription drugs that you are given by the doctor and using them in a cocktail. Every human being is different, and every human being reacts differently to different drugs, whether they're illegal or from the doctor. How many tests are done? If you think about it this way, how many tests are done for someone like me with an addictive personality that has had previous mental health issues, that has been suicidal? If I was to take, for instance, we'll keep on the drugs that I've tried in my life. If I am to take gabapentin and tramadol and cocodamol and diazepam, all those 4 drugs I can be prescribed from the doctor. And many of you watching probably will have experienced one of those 4 drugs in your lifetime. These drugs individually, yeah, they may be great. They maybe really help what you're doing. What happens if you take all 4 of those drugs at the same time? You are not certain that you're ever going to wake up. And if you have woke up and you are able to watch this and think, that was me, I've done that, you are also extremely lucky to be alive right now. There is no tests that are done. Yeah, there is human tests that will be done on humans with gabapentin, humans with cocodamol, with tramadol, with diazepam. All these human tests will have been done. However, taking them all together is extremely dangerous. You could accidentally overdose quite easily, actually, you know. And then if you start adding other drugs into the mix, heroin, crack, cocaine, amphetamines, magic mushrooms, ecstasies, and you add those drugs into the cocktail, again, it is going to be, you're running a gauntlet with your life with these drugs, you know. And it's a shame. Alcohol, you know, I titled this cocktails, and a lot of people with, you know, oh, I have cocktails, I love cocktails, I'll tune into Paul's live video, he's going to be talking about cocktails, right? And it's not the case, right? But alcohol, in my opinion, is the most destructive drug in the world. I've never been an alcoholic. I have spent most of my life around alcoholics, and certainly over the last few years on social media, the most horrific stories that I have heard have been involving alcohol, a drug that is socially acceptable, a drug that most people do to socialise, to go out, have fun. It's a different kettle of fish, of course, when you drink every day. You become an alcoholic, and then you are then dependent on alcohol. When you add alcohol to the mix of any of these drugs that I've mentioned today, the possibility of accidentally overdosing really does go up quite dramatically. You know, it really does. I can share a little story with you. Of course, I will not say any names. This is a true story. Last year I went into and do a talk in prison with the inmates. And we were sitting round the table, I was telling them about my life story, and we were recording the audiobook actually. The guys were going, most of the guys had went into the booth. And I went in and I said, look guys, you're all in here for a reason, right? You're in prison for a reason. The best way for you going forward is to actually hold your hands up to the mistakes that you've made in the past. Only by doing that have you got a chance at a brighter future. You can't keep blaming everybody and being in denial, because it will serve you no good in life. So I done. I went, I'm not going to do it now, right? Maybe the next one, right? But I went on and had this whole spiel, whole preach to these inmates about the importance of owning up to our mistakes. And I explained myself, the things I'm not proud of that I've done in my life, and I told all the guys the stories of things that I'm not proud of, and there's lots of them, folks. So they went in to record the audiobook, and one of the guys sat behind, and he waited. Everybody was away, and we looked, right, and he went, Paul, just listening to what you were saying about holding your hands up. The truth is, mate, I've done a lot of bad things in my life, and I'm no proud of them. And he told me a few instances of things that he had done that he was not proud of. And he says, I'm in here for murder. I went, right, okay. I says, you don't have to share anything with me. I'm not here to judge you. He says, no, I want to. He says, the truth is, mate, he says, I'm in here for murder. I'm probably going to spend the rest of my life in prison. And I says, right. I said, I just wanted to share with you what happened, because I do hold my hands up to the mistakes that I've made in my life, but the murder I committed, I genuinely cannot remember it. I says, all right, and what's the reason behind that? He says, I took a handful of Valiums, and then I had a couple of bottles of vodka, and I went out and got in an altercation with somebody, and I ended up killing them. Young guy. And now it's ruined my whole life. And I find it that difficult listening to what you're saying about holding your hands up to things that you've done. And I know that I've done it with CCTV and whatnot, right? And he got caught and he's obviously in prison for it, but he had no recollection at all of ever doing whatever it was that he had done, that he's now going to be in life, in prison for life as a result. And, you know, I'm not saying what he done was right, because of course it's wrong. He's committed murder. What I'm saying is that there's no got any recollection here. And the cocktail of Valium, diazepam, and alcohol, both of these drugs together, are extremely dangerous. Not just for accidental overdoses, but for blackouts. Blackouts are real. A lot of people think blackouts are not real. Trust me, folks. Blackouts are real. You know, you hear people talking, certainly people in prisons, talking about blackouts and things, and you think, yeah, you're just saying that just to sort of shrug it off what they've done. They're in complete denial. They murdered someone. Of course they know exactly what they've done, because everybody knows. You don't. When you have a cocktail of drugs and you like that, especially diazepam, something that I was addicted to for many years. Diazepam gives you huge memory loss, and they give you huge blackouts. You add alcohol to that mix, things get a little bit scary and a little bit dicey. And I call diazepam the Superman drug, because you feel like Superman when you take diazepam. For the reasons that you are prescribed diazepam from the doctor, they are amazing. They work. I used to use them when I go flying. Amazing. I can get on the plane and not be absolutely shiting myself as the plane's about to take off. If I've had my Valium from the doctor, it takes the edge off, you know. But like I said earlier, drug addicts, or certainly me as a drug addict, I was greedy. I wouldn't just take 2 Valium, 2 diazepam, I would take 12 because that's my nature. And when you do that, you do really run that gauntlet and getting yourself into trouble. So, sorry, I'm just having a wee drink in my cup of tea. So yeah, I just wanted to do a video just saying to people just to be careful. Even though the doctor is prescribing you these drugs, just be extremely careful when you are taking more than one drug. It's not even the fact that, you know, tests could have been done on humans with regards to taking gabapentin and tramadol at the same time. How many humans are tested? Because we're all different. We all react differently to different drugs. So it is a thing that we really do have to be wary of. And obviously, when you start adding into the mix a lot of illegal drugs, you know, we are, or certainly I am, extremely lucky to be here. And it would not have been an intentional overdose. It would have been an accidental overdose. And the truth of the matter is, back then, I am getting prescribed antidepressants from the doctor. I am heavily depressed and I am cutting my arms, right? And I am taking all these drugs, taking these cocktails of drugs every single day. If I ended up taking an overdose and dying, and they've done an autopsy and things, the truth of the matter is I would have been put down as an intentional overdose. That's what would have happened. They would have looked at my record and said, look, he's in a dark place, he's taking all these drugs for the doctor because of his mental health. We found him dead on his rug, suicide. And I would go down as a suicidal stat. And it very easily could have been an accidental suicide just by taking cocktails of different drugs. That's one thing that always, that, you know, when we see the stats in the UK about the suicide rate and stuff, how do people determine whether it is an accidental overdose or an intentional overdose? Yes, they would assume that, and they do assume it. You know, they have to put it down as something, so more than likely they are going to look at your past record, and if you are on these drugs, the chances are that you're going to have some form of mental health history, depression history. So in black and white, when they're looking at your record and saying, well, Paul was, you know, prescribed antidepressants, he was using heroin, he was taking methadone, he was taking diazepam, he was smoking cannabis, you know, it is an assumption. And then you know what they say about assumptions. That is the mother of all F-ups. Try not to swear today, folks. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble swearing on YouTube. I don't know. And I don't want to swear. Very, very conscious not to swear on my live videos right now because I'm only just on YouTube. The last thing I need is getting a ban after my first live video. Well, I've done 2 or 3 now, but you know what I mean. So I'm trying to behave myself. I do swear a lot because I'm passionate about trying to help. And when I get into the talks, a little bit like what I'm doing today, sometimes some sweary words do creep out. But yeah, so that's it. We're at 20 minutes. We're 20 minutes in. That is pretty much all I've got for you today. I'm not going to sit on YouTube and blabber on like I used to do a lot on Facebook. I'm going to try and just keep it short and sweet, and hopefully people that are watching this that have no subscribed will subscribe, and hopefully you'll join me tomorrow when I do another live stream, and it's only 20 minutes or half an hour out of your life. You're interested in what I've got to say. You're interested in my life story, my opinions about drugs, how we can really help ourselves when it comes to addiction, which is what's coming up this week. I want to really try and get into people's minds the importance of the mind, the importance of self-talk. I've got my work cut out for me, folks. I know that. There are lots of addicts that message me all the time. I didn't watch your live videos. I'm an addict, but I'm quite happy being an addict. So I am not really ready to listen to you telling me how to stop taking drugs. And they're brutally honest, and that's fine. I can't help these people, but I'm really here for these people that are looking for a little bit of hope and inspiration to try and change their lives for the better. I can offer help. I need the people to open their minds, take the cotton wool out their ears, and listen to what I'm saying, and actually implement it in their lives. And I promise you, if you do that, things can get better. They can get better. You just have to keep positive, and if what you're doing right now is not working, look at alternatives. I am an alternative if things in the past have not worked. I promise you, what I do, the way that I speak, and my opinions on things are very unique as well. It's just a little bit different. I'm almost 19 years off heroin. The course that I attended had nothing to do with drugs or addiction. It was solely about the mind. I never came close to relapsing once. I'm massively proud of that. The proof is in the pudding. So I just want to share with the world how I've done that. So keep tuning into my live streams, probably about the same time tomorrow, 2 o'clock, and then hopefully I can give you some knowledge that you can pass on to someone in your life that you love that is struggling with addiction. And you can say, look, I listened to Paul on YouTube, and he was talking about the power of the mind, the way that you look at yourself. All you ever do is put yourself down. Day after day. That's all you do. Put yourself down. Put everybody else down. Blame everybody. There's a reason why you're doing that, and if you won't listen to Paul, go and watch his video and listen. He explains it relatively well, and tries to explain how the reasons behind why you're maybe doing that, putting yourself down and putting others down and being bitter and twisted. Lola, sorry, I've touched the screen and all the comments have just come up. I just seen a big long one. I'm not saying this just to have something to say. Right, they've went away again. In my opinion, Trevor and Paul here are the most inspirational men I have ever come across on YouTube platform. I can't say the same for the selfish HGT. Well, thank you for joining me, Lola. I'm really sorry. Oh shit. Oh, wee sweary word. Right. I appreciate you being here. I genuinely do. I'm a very small account. I hopefully will grow on this account. Thank you for your kind words. I do apologise that I'm not here reading out all your comments. If you're coming over to Facebook, you perhaps may be expecting me to read out your comments on YouTube. I can't do that. I'm sitting too far back and I can't really read them, to be honest. Amazing. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Anne. And thank you, everyone. Listen, I'm saying individual names there. Please don't be sitting watching and thinking he never said my name. I've dropped 10 comments and he's not read any. Please, it's no purpose, right? It's just the way it is. I'm going to leave you in peace now. I'm 5 minutes over, because I said 5 minutes. I was 5 minutes ago I was going to leave, but technically I'm 5 minutes early, okay? Because it's only 25 past 2, so I am 5 minutes early. There you go, folks. What more can I say? Please consider subscribing, like this live stream. There's 14 of you watching right now. I've only got 10 likes, 15 watching now. Hopefully we could get the likes up to 15. That would mean that everybody that is watching me right now appreciates what I'm trying to do. Hopefully. We went up to 11 there, so somebody else liked it. 12. Right, I'm going to sit here for 30 seconds just to try and encourage you. Right? Come on, everybody. 12. Come on. We can do better than that. We can go to final 3. And I'll go off this live extremely happy. I'm going to go off extremely happy anyway. But anyway, thank you for the dozen people that liked it. Consider sharing it onto your Facebooks and stuff. I'll be sharing it today. Thank you, Moody. Sorry, but the comment comes up, then it slowly goes away. I'm going now, right? I will just say have a great day, everyone, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Adios, amigos.